in Luke chapter 7, starting in verse 48, Yeshua speaking this time to the woman who had broken the jar of ointment and began to wash Yeshua's feet with it. I believe that's the woman. If I scroll back up to verse 37, behold, a woman of the city who was a sinner, when she learned that he was reclining at the table of the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster flask of ointment. Right. So yes, this is the woman who she took this ointment and she poured it on Yeshua's feet. I think she broke it actually, and she begins to wipe his feet with her hair. And when we drop down to verse 48, I'm sorry, let me jump up to verse 47 first. Yeshua says, therefore I tell you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much, but he who is forgiven little loves little. And then in verse 48, and he said to her, let me keep both verses in view there. And he said to her, your sins are forgiven. So speaking to her, he tells her your sins are forgiven. So again, the same two things in this passage. Number one, God the Son speaks. He has intelligent speech. He's not an animal. He's not a thing. He's not a creature that can't speak, right? Jesus is not a creature. He's not he's not some metaphysical force of energy that you could experience but you couldn't talk to. No. He has the power of speech. He's a human being. He can speak. So he tells the woman, your sins are forgiven. That's the second part. Just like in the previous account of the paralytic who was lowered through the roof on his stretcher, and Yeshua healed him and then forgave him, and the Pharisees had a problem with that. The same thing is going on. Look at verse 48. He said to her, your sins are forgiven. And look at verse 49. Then those who were at table with him began to say among themselves, who is this who even forgives sins? Again, the same concept in the first century. There was the understanding that God alone is the one that we sin against. You can sin against a human being, but ultimately, as man is created in the image of God, ultimately you're sinning against God, because only God is the one who is infinitely holy, and God is the only one who can ultimately forgive you of that sin which you commit against him. So for Yeshua to utter the words, your sins are forgiven, without maybe giving a clarifier like, God forgives you, or my Father in heaven forgives you, or something like that. He speaks these words as first person. Your sins are forgiven. The people around him understand what's going on. You're making yourself out equal to the Father. You're making yourself out equal to God. And Yeshua doesn't correct them. He doesn't explain. No. I'm not forgiving her. What did you think? I was the one forgiving her? No. You're mistaken. I'm not the one forgiving her. It's my Father through me who's forgiving her. Don't misunderstand. I'm not trying to make myself out to God. No. No, he didn't say that. I don't see that in the text. So what we have here are accounts where not just Jesus is speaking, but the words that he's speaking equate him with God Almighty. Okay, let's turn now to the three passages that CARM put together for the Holy Spirit, and these are going to be found in the book of Acts. And the first one that we encounter is Acts chapter 8, verse 29. And this is the familiar story of the Ethiopian eunuch and Philip. And we all know the story. The Ethiopian eunuch is going along in his chariot, and he's reading through the book of Isaiah, and he's reading Isaiah chapter 53, and reading about the suffering servant, and he has questions about what's going on. And Philip happens to be there, and what do we read in verse 29 of chapter 8 of Acts? And the Spirit said to Philip, go over and join this chariot. And of course, in verse 30, so Philip ran to him and heard him reading Isaiah the prophet and asked, do you understand what you're reading? So what's the point of the story? The Spirit said to Philip. Notice that Luke, the writer of the book of Acts, said the Spirit said. The Greek word is right here, apin. The Spirit said. Luke could have recorded, the Spirit impressed upon Philip to go over and join the chariot. The Spirit empowered Philip to go over and join the chariot. The Spirit gave Philip a strong urge, right? Luke could have wrote any type of verb in there, but he didn't. He wrote, the Spirit said to Philip. I think Luke wrote exactly what the Spirit told Luke to write in regards to what the Spirit told Philip to say. Because the same Spirit that empowered Luke to write the account is the same Spirit that told Philip to go over to the chariot. So the point being, the Spirit speaks. The Spirit speaks. The Spirit is not an impersonal force like electricity in your wall. He doesn't just speak in zaps and pops and whistles or buzzes, right? Like electricity does, right? Or hum, right? It's not this like, right? It's not like, that's not how the Spirit communicates. The Spirit has intelligent speech. The Spirit uses the language of men, right? The Spirit can speak. The Spirit spoke to Philip and told him to go over and to minister to this particular gentleman who was reading the Bible there. I think that's quite wonderful.